Welcome to RoCo Talks. I'm your host, Joe Girdler. We have a special guest today. It's Mayor Karen Alexander of Salisbury, North Carolina, and she's going to talk to us about the state of Salisbury. She'll talk to us about the census. She'll talk to us about development, the Salisbury Police Department, as well as art and city staffing. So join us on RoCo Talks. This episode is brought to you by JG Media Company. If a picture says 1,000 words, then a video speaks volumes. Remember, we also do live streaming now. Also brought to you by Grievous Gallery. We are your encouragement factory. This is part 1 of 2. What is the overall state of Salisbury?
Well, I'm happy to report that in our council meeting last evening, we were told by our financial person that we have achieved a AA- rating in terms of our bond issues. We are going to be putting out about $45 million in bonds for sale. And you have to go through a very extensive financial review. And so the S&P has re-rated us, and we are now at a AA-. That sounds, maybe because it's A-, but we're AA-, which means that you're up the ladder. If you just have one A, and we were A+ before, but now at AA-, we're actually higher rated.
Okay. So a AA- is a good thing.
Is a great thing.
Okay.
It's a great thing.
Excellent.
And we also found out that from the LGC, which is the local government commission that reviews all finances and approves all applications for doing either going out for bonds, we're borrowing money. So they say that as a city, we rate number 1. There is a rating from 1 to 6, and we are at 1, which means the top.
So we can borrow money. Usually we're not a risk.
Exactly. We're not a risk. We are favored in terms of our excellent fiscal management, which is what every city wants to hear and should be what every citizen wants to hear, that we're very well managed.
I like hearing it.
Yeah.
How do we compare right now to other cities around us that are close to us in size?
I would say that we rate above those. In fact, our city manager just said to me the other day that in the arena, we play higher than our weight class. And what that really means is that we provide services that many other cities don't. They're down to the very basics. And that while we do that, we also anticipate over time what we need to do, and that we do through a capital improvement plan, which is a 10-year rolling plan that we're projecting 10 years out what our needs are going to be. And then that helps us to determine how do we need to plan for a new fire station, because as debt rolls off, then we want to pick up new debt, but we don't want to have too much debt at any one time. It would be like on a personal level, you would be adjusting to make sure that your debt ratio is not above a certain level, whatever you're comfortable with. So like the bank doesn't allow you to probably, for a house loan, you couldn't be more than about 33% of your income. Right. So we're always doing it based on the income that the city gets, and we get that in a number of ways. We get, of course, the real estate taxes. We get grants that I'm really big in going for those federal or state grants because that could add, $10 million to our yearly budget, which means that we can do things that other cities might not be able to do at the same size that we are.
Is it unusual for cities to go after the grants like we do?
I don't think that a lot of them have the experience that we do in terms of it is layered into the work plan for our employees. So like our Parks and Recs director will either do some himself or have staff do it. We have Wendy Brindle and then her team. She's with the city engineering, which has to do with all of our roads and working with DOT. We get lots of grants. So one of the last grants that we were approved for was $3,300,000 and some change. Our part of that is a matching $328,000. So we're being able to do the road that goes through from Stokes Ferry to Bringle Ferry. That road, Newsom Road. So we were able to do that because we got this grant from the state. Okay. And so one of the examples I'll give you is we had on our federal strategic plan to go for a grant around getting more efficient buses for our transit system because we were driving these really big, huge diesel buses. They're expensive to operate and expensive to maintain. So we were able to get a grant for almost $500,000 just announced right after I became mayor. The election was in November. We got this in December, the notification. And so we're already in the process of purchasing those. We haven't
through the grant.
Through the grant, okay. Yes. So instead of the taxpayers having to pay $500,000, they're going to be paying, maybe $80,000. Oh, wow. So that allows us to leverage the taxpayer money, and that makes me happy.
When one thinks about development, you usually think about the county and a more unified effort between all the municipalities, and you think about companies coming to big tracts of land. But recently I read in the Salisbury Post that Snow Joe is expanding on Industrial Avenue, and that's an example of a company expanding inside a city. How does a city like Salisbury expand and attract businesses?
Well, we work hand in hand with the Rowan County EDC, which is the Economic Development Commission. That project is no different. We provide incentives. In fact, it came to our council meeting to help when this company was coming to Salisbury to expand, or continuing in Salisbury because they've been here. That's always exciting for us. They're going to be spending $1.5 million, and they will be providing 100 jobs in the distribution part of their company. And that's very exciting because they chose Salisbury originally because we were on the I-85 corridor. We were very close to Charlotte, so their distribution can go through trucks or planes, but they're positioned here to deal with packaging and getting the things off the shelf and onto the trucks.
And we have rail here.
And we have rail as well. So for Salisbury, that is one exciting way that we can grow within our boundaries. But we are also interested, as you mentioned, we're interested in working with the county, Rowan County, as well as other municipalities as we grow, because, for instance, we have the Water Sewer Enterprise Fund. That is very important to 52,000 residents within Rowan County. We serve all of the municipalities within the county with water. And so water is a tremendous asset to both residential as well as commercial and warehouse companies who are going to expand. They're going to make products. They have to have water. In fact, we are actively promoting the fact that Salisbury Rowan has one of the top water production entities in our area. We have plenty of capacity per day. So if you think about it, before we were providing water and sewer to a lot of mills that were right in our community within the Salisbury jurisdiction. And since those have slowly died out, we are replacing those with other industries. So we're open for business.
So another large asset for our community is the fact that we have a river.
Yes.
We have this large water capacity.
Exactly, and we're upgrading that capacity right now, modernizing it. In fact, that's part of the $45 million bond issue to pay for those upgrades. And it's very exciting that our director of the water sewer entity is very proactive. He is always looking for the future and planning many, many years in advance. So while we're borrowing $45 million, there's lots of millions that have been saved that are being employed at the same time.
And this makes us money.
Yes, this makes the community or the city of Salisbury.
Yeah. And it helps the entire county.
Right.
It's not
it
just
absolutely
because we can attract business. It's not just coming to Salisbury,
but all the way down. In fact, a lot of the lines that were extended by the county directly go back to the water sewer plant. So while the county paid for instance, the line that went to the new Chewy area and Dukeville to provide safe water. So we treat all of that water. So we're still involved with the county. So we're a partner in it.
In the county and the city, and probably the county and all the rest of the cities, there seems to be a greater sense of cooperation.
Absolutely. We celebrate, for instance, when something great happens for Spencer or East Spencer. We're there to cheer that on. Yeah. And by the same token, China Grove, Landis, Kannapolis, because when Rowan County is doing well, that means that we're all doing well.
Right, I agree. Now, this leads into my next question. Wonderfully, because we're talking about growth, let's talk about the census, the coming census. How is that going to help Salisbury, this census?
Okay, well, the census activity is basically for every municipality, Salisbury, and all of the county residents. So the 2020 census is about the county, but we are all very important partners because each one of us is going to contribute to the counting, which will determine how much of the $675 billion across the nation that comes to our county. And the things that are part of the money, the pot of money that will come, will be funds for DSS. That would be for our health and social services. That would be for transportation. It would be for not just transportation as in the transit systems for both the county and the city, but for roads. It's comprehensive in terms of the money. It goes for the CDBG.
Now, what is that?
That is the Community Development Block Grant money. So it is basically, you can think about it as all of the federal agencies funnel down the money to the state, and then the state gives it to the county, and the municipalities, of course, benefit. That all is based on the numbers that are in our state. So every community contributes to that number. So, and then we all get our slice based on the numbers that we are.
And it's not just about counting numbers of people. There's other information there, and
Right.
they take this information and say, well, we've got a need here in Rowan County, or we've got a need here in Alamance, or
Right,
and that's
exactly,
how that works.
and that is exactly. So that's important that we count everyone all the way down to the children, because they need services, education, health care.
Right.
All of that figures into helping our citizens.
What things are the staff of the city doing to get an accurate count?
Well, we are one representative on the county 2020 Census Steering Committee, and we're all working to assist where we can in making it as easy as possible for every citizen to participate. And you can do it online. We have a computer now set up in the City Hall lobby at 217 South Main Street. You can go in. When you get your card in the mail, it's a postcard, save it, because it has a information about how you enter your information into the computer. And the interesting thing is that this information that you enter in is not important in terms of you personally. So that information is going to be hidden. They're just looking for the conglomerate of all of our information together, and that is the data that will be used to determine the needs, as you pointed out. Right. Alamance County may need one thing, Rowan County may need another, Salisbury may need something else. So it would have everything to do with even opioid addiction, fire and police departments throughout our county, the sheriff's department. So it's a very, very important process to be sure that we're all counted.
Okay. In the past, we used to get an official letter.
Right, and you will get that. You will
still
get that. You will get that, and you will also get a postcard. If you don't, as a citizen, do it when you get that, then there will be census counters that will come out to the various homes to see if they can help you. And they will be credentialed, and you'll know that they are actually census employees.
Because, safety is a big problem because
exactly.
There's a lot of scammers and fake emails and letters going out about the census trying to take advantage
of. And so there will be a definite push for that. It's why that we actually prefer that you do it online, or if you don't have a computer at home, you can go to the library. We're going to have, the county will have computers at the library for the census taking. You can also pick up the phone and call from your home and you'll be connected to a census taker at that 800 number. It won't cost you anything, and you can give all the data that's required right over the phone. So this time the Census Department has made it as easy and accessible as possible for everyone. And then that information is locked down, so it cannot be used for any other purpose other than counting our citizens.
Okay, because that was another
Yes.
question I had prepared, was, is the information safe?
And it is safe.
Because, there's always been several
Fear.
groups. Yeah, a lot of fear.
A lot of
And
fear.
There's always been a lot of groups that were historically undercounted.
Right.
For various reasons.
Right. And we're encouraging our Hispanic communities, any of our communities that are here, living here, no matter where you fall on the spectrum, we want you to be counted, because we would need those numbers in order to help you in the future.